All right, and finally, it appears the battle to contain the COVID-19 pandemic in Nigeria is shifting to the courts. A desperate attempt by Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki mandating all residents of the states to get vaccinated attracted a lawsuit. A federal high court sitting in Port Harcourt has granted an order restraining Governor Obaseki from enforcing the directive for compulsory vaccination by residents. This is serious.
It is. It is. This, I mean, Ayo, this is a phenomenon, that we've seen.
Somebody has gone to court?
Yes, all over the world, including US and UK. Is what I see as a clash between, people's personal liberty and what could also be considered as public good. Because from the point of view of the governor, he wants to make sure that
his territory is safe.
Yes, his state is not one of those in the front burner of this COVID spread. But in Nigeria, just as in some Western countries, people are not willing to take the COVID jab. In some of these places, they are giving incentives, to take the jab, $100, $150, as the case may be. A lot of people will argue,
encouraging people.
Yes, to take.
Urging people, begging people, persuading people.
So a lot of people will argue that it should be something, that is in the realm of, that should be in the realm of persuasion.
Persuasion, yes.
Instead of, compulsion. That is where the challenge, is. If you go to US, the company like Disney, have made it compulsory for non-unionized regular staff, should get vaccinated before they work. Goldman Sachs.
It depends on the way you are interpreting it.
The same thing.
A company as like CNN sacked 3 of their staff because of the refusal to get vaccinated. But what we are looking at here is that it should not be made compulsory. People should persuade people, carry out public enlightenment, and the need to actually take this vaccination. But you cannot absolutely force people
especially
out of their will.
Especially as a government. A private company could say, look, you endanger others by refusing to get vaccinated. Yeah. Therefore, you can't morally keep your job. CNN could do that. But as a government...
TVC here, they've communicated to head of departments that
let's
know your status, if you've been vaccinated or not.
Yes. But to force people to do it when there is no law in place in our country, making it mandatory will be counterproductive. And the governor should have known that, look, if you are tempted to do that, it will be resisted. And that's what we have seen. The governor took the decision saying from the second week of September 2021, large gatherings will only be assessed by those who have taken at least 1 jab of the vaccine. People will not be allowed into worship centers, churches and mosques, even event centers. You can no longer access banking services if you have not been vaccinated. Of course, if you come up, yes, people, you will be resisted, because across the world, governments are persuading people. They are not forcing people. They are not forcing people. I was watching the Manchester United coach or manager, as they like to call them in Europe. He was asked the question because the team's second goalkeeper, the number 2 keeper, Henderson, came down to COVID and he was being treated. So they now asked him, is it that the club has not vaccinated all its players. Why would a player catch this virus? He now said, see, we continue to talk to them. We can't force them. We can't force them that some of these issues are personal to many players. Some of them are based on their religious convictions and all that. So he said, we can't force, we will only continue to appeal to them. And I think that is what I will encourage Governor Obaseki.
We have Hassan from Abuja.
Okay.
Thank you for staying with us, Hassan.
Thank you, Ayo. Ayo, I'm so sorry. I'm going to take you a little back with real quick.
All right.
I just need 2 minutes.
Please go ahead.
2 minutes. Ayo, you see, I want to talk about Katsina and Masari. I think if anybody wants to be fair to Masari, Masari is the only governor that has seen and he has tried almost every option to curtail this menace. When somebody is saying he's closing markets and closing roads for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, let him close it for a year. If a person dies today in Nigeria, let the whole system stop. Let us hunt these killers. Stop everything. The system should just stop. Everything should stop. Close businesses. Let's hunt these people and get it done. Masari is on the right track. Anybody saying Masari, and if you talk about taking them to court, you know our judicial system. In fact, when he catches them, when the state catches them, some of them are even being brought to Abuja by the DSS. And you know the process in our judiciary. They might even bail them out when you take them to court. So I think the governor is frustrated and tired, and what he is doing is the right thing to do. If any other governor around that northwest will copy the same thing, like everybody too is also trying, and the governor of Zamfara too has come up. So when all of them now come together to apply the same strategy is applying, let every market stop, let every business stop, let's hunt these people and get them. Ayo. Masari is on the right track. Let everybody copy him. He's already recruiting 2,000 rangers. Let them go to the bush. Hunt for people that come in to kill your children and your parents. Why would we be talking about this as if these guys are strangers? These are people we know in the communities.
Yes. Okay.
The communities know them. They're not strangers. Some are even being informed by the community. Stop every business. Stop every institution and face this reality. Because it's the reality of our time.
Right.
Thank you,
Nobody
Hassan.
needs to die. Nobody needs.
Well said.
You can imagine Kaduna saying, okay, students, you can come back to write your exams, but wear mufti. You see what bandits have reduced us to? That even students, secondary school students, should wear mufti to school. So that they will not, because they know the target school kids, so that they will not be identified easily. You know, that is the thing. Schools, do you know for how long they close schools in Kaduna? The alternative is to open those schools and risk those children being abducted. So some extreme measures will be necessary if we are to defeat these people.
Okay, but let's quickly go back to the pandemic in Edo State, and we're talking about, Governor Obaseki and people. Somebody has gone to court, and the Federal High Court sitting in Port Harcourt has granted an order restraining the governor from enforcing the directive for compulsory vaccination by residents. It can't be made compulsory across the board. It can't be made compulsory.
You see, persuasion is still the best way.
Yes.
Look at the figures. Let the people, tell the people that, look, they've had 39.4 million cases in in USA, and 640,725 are dead. In India, they've had 32.8 million cases, and 439,350 people are dead. Tell them that in Brazil, they've had 20.8 million cases with 580,000 people dead. Turkey, 56,000 people dead. South Africa, 82,065 dead out of 2.77 million cases. Russia, tell them that 179 persons are dead. I was looking at the figures for yesterday. Even Rivers overtook Lagos in terms of new infections. So it's growing. We have to protect ourselves the best way that we can.
Yes.
But a government cannot force people to vaccinate and say they can't move around, they can't go to places. No, that will be infringing on their human rights, and they will resist you.
No.
Yeah.
People will go to court.
Obaseki should transfer his energy, in going to court to aggressive enlightenment campaign for people to see the need to take the jab. Because in the US and other places, they keep on telling us that those who are being hospitalized and, on death row right now are those who have not been vaccinated. So if he takes the message home to people, I'm sure he will be able to convince a lot of people to take the jab.
Singapore is a small country. They've achieved more than 80% vaccination. Yeah. But it's difficult, especially with big countries.
I think this is the number one step. This is number one state in Nigeria will be seeing this kind of move.
Yes.
And trust us, those states, they might be with you today. Tomorrow, if you trample on their rights, they will stand up for their rights.
No.
That's for what they've just done now. They've gone to courts and...
Exactly when you say, religion is an emotive issue in our country.
Seriously.
When you start saying that you can only determine when people will go to church or go to mosque. No, they will resist you. That's what we have done. They will resist you. Nigerians are just very predictable. The moment you included mosque and churches among places that people who are not vaccinated cannot go, you shouldn't be surprised. So they should just continue to enlighten the people, let them see reason. I don't think as a country we've done enough by way of enlightenment.
At all.
A lot of people have very little knowledge of this disease. And this third wave should have even offered us a fresh opportunity to look at this issue, to let people know how it's ravaging. A lot of Nigerians appear to have put this matter behind them. They think it's gone for
It doesn't exist.
On that note, I call it a wrap on today's edition of Journalist Hangout. I want to thank you, Chia Wo Lamoke Wanko. Thank you, Chia Wo.
Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution today. And the master himself, Babajide Kolade Otitoju, thank you for your contribution.
Thank you.